Alright, the Mercury Prize winners, Alt J, are back with their new album, This Is All Yours. Now, if you've heard of Alt J at all, you're probably aware that they have a really polarized status in music right now. There's one camp that really loves them, thinks that their debut album, An Awesome Wave, is like a contemporary classic and a masterpiece of art. And then there's the other side. I think that Alt J epitomized everything that's wrong with indie rock today. That they lift too liberally from the book of Radiohead, that they're weird for the sake of being weird, that they're wimpy, and that they just outright stole the Mercury Prize in 2012. I myself happen to love An Awesome Wave. I enjoy it, and I still revisit it every now and again. I really can't put my finger on exactly what it is that makes that album work, but it does. And the way they mixed digital, synthetic atmosphere with some organic instrumentation and just some strange songwriting choices really make it not only an interesting album to hear, but a really satisfying one to listen to as well. But the band got pretty popular. They sold a lot of records, which was a surprise because they are so unconventional and kind of strange. And really, I felt like in order for them to follow up on An Awesome Wave, they either need to go one of two directions. They could take their newfound popularity and move into a more accessible, radio-friendly direction, or they could dial things back and become even more abstract and even more weird. It turns out, though, that they actually do a little bit of both. So this new album, This Is All Yours, finds them moving in both directions. Where on one hand, some of their songs are a little bit more approachable, they are a little bit more familiar sounding, whereas others are just way out there. On one hand, you have a song like Left Hand Free, which honestly sounds like it could almost be a Black Keys song. It's very kind of standard, and even though that song has gotten a lot of good attention and seems to be well received, I myself was kind of turned off by it, and I don't think that it really fits within the context of This Is All Yours. On the other hand of things, with songs like Intro and Arrival and Nara and Warm Foothills and Leaving Nara, these are songs that are a little bit more spread out, a little bit spacier, and for me, these songs didn't really work. Whereas on An Awesome Wave, Alt J were able to take some of these strange, deceptively empty songs and really make them build in interesting ways. I didn't find they really do that here so much. But I think this album is at its best when it takes these two disparate elements and puts them together. So for me, the best track on here is The Gospel of John Hurt. There's nice hooks here. There's some folk elements. There's some shoegaze elements almost. There's some hip hop beats, and it's really strange, but it really works. And one of the previous singles, Every Other Freckle, is the exact same way. A little bit of a surprise for me was to find out that the song Blood Flood actually makes a reprise here. So we find it again with kind of a sequel track with Blood Flood Part 2, which I also think is one of the better songs on this album. It has a lot of the same motifs of the original on their debut, but also adds in some new things, and really they kind of deconstruct the song at some points on here. And for me, that was very satisfying and a nice way to really cap off the record. But then again, there are other times where Alt J try new things that don't exactly work. One example, Hunger of the Pine, which has a Miley Cyrus sample that really the song tries to center on, and that sample alone is not really strong enough to sustain that track, and for me it just really kind of fell flat. But hey, that's okay, they can't all be winners, right? I think that if you like Alt J, you're probably really going to like This Is All Yours. While I don't think that it necessarily reaches the same heights as their debut, it has a lot of what made that album great, makes an appearance here. Alt J are still using the same bag of tricks, and that's okay because it's a really cool bag of tricks. Overall, I liked this album. I think it's about a 7.5 out of 10, but I know there's been a lot of mixed reaction here, so I'd like to hear your opinion on this as well. So be sure to leave those in the comments if you like this album, if you hated this album, if you think that's even better than their debut, let me know, we can talk about it. If you thought this review was helpful, please like it below, or subscribe to this channel, Or even better yet, check out earbuddy.net where you can find more longer form written reviews. And hey, I think that's pretty much it, so I will see you later.